Hello friends, and welcome to Escaping the Mouse with your host, me, Breck Roll. Alright, we're going to do another episode of Bites and Nibbles with Breck today. Today we're going to use the ice cream maker that I got from one of my viewers a few months ago, and we're going to make some more ice cream. Now, I know a lot of the ice cream vlogs, they seem just kind of repetitive, so this will probably be the last ice cream vlog I will make, just because, basically it's the same process over and over again with different ingredients. But I'll continue to use the ice cream maker. I just probably won't do them for vlogs. What I'm going to do today is we're going to make Rocky Road ice cream. This has always been one of my favorite ice cream flavors. It's something I remember loving as a kid, and we're going to do that right now. Now, the recipe book I have doesn't actually have a recipe for Rocky Road ice cream, but what Rocky Road ice cream is it's chocolate ice cream with almonds and marshmallows, and that seems like a pretty simple ingredient to add. So my recipe book does have directions for chocolate ice cream, so we're going to make chocolate ice cream and we're going to add the 2 extra ingredients. Let's look at those ingredients. So these are the ingredients for our Rocky Road ice cream. First off, we have some heavy whipping cream, we have some whole milk, a little pure vanilla extract, some granulated sugar, some brown sugar, some cocoa powder, some almonds, and some marshmallows. Let's get going. This is going to be great. Now, you may recall that the first time I did ice cream, it actually took me about 2 days to get the ice cream to work properly. I didn't understand that the freezer bowl had to be absolutely frozen solid, which took a long time, and I was kind of working with ingredients that weren't exactly as cold as they could have been. So the ingredients I'm going to use have been actually sitting in the refrigerator for a while, and the freezer bowl itself now lives in the freezer. So it's been basically in the freezer since I finished up with the peach ice cream last time. So we're basically ready to go, but since I'm going to be putting in a bunch of ingredients, the sugar, the brown sugar, the almonds, the marshmallows, that have kind of sat at room temperature, what I'm going to do is mix everything up, get it ready, get it all mixed together so it's ready to go, and we're going to put it back in the refrigerator and allow it to cool down again before we put it into the mixing bowl, because I think that will result in better ice cream. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to combine my dry ingredients together and just mix them together. So I have a cup of cocoa powder, 2/3 of a cup of granulated sugar, and 1/2 a cup of packed brown sugar. And so I'm just going to kind of mix this all together. I'm going to use a whisk to do that, and we'll move on to the next step. Just kind of mixing it all together. This works a little bit better if you're not holding a camera, but that's just sometimes the way things work. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Next, I'm going to use my mixer to combine the sugars and cocoa powder with 1.5 cups of whole milk. Now, the directions actually say use a hand mixer. I don't have a hand mixer, so I'm going to use my handy dandy little power mixer here. It'll do the same thing. We're going to let it run for about 2 minutes until everything's nice and blended, and then we'll add our whole milk and our vanilla extract, and we'll be ready to go. Alright, our cocoa powder and our sugars and our whole milk have mixed together now pretty well and turned into a nice smooth liquid. Now I'm going to add 3 1/4 cups of heavy whipping cream and 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. And we're just going to let that mix for a couple minutes until everything's nice and blended together. Alright, so those are my basic ingredients. Now, what I'm going to do before we go further, because I've added a bunch of room temperature ingredients like the brown sugars and the cocoa powder and all that stuff, and it's been out at room temperature for a little while, I'm just going to take this bowl, I'm going to put a lid on it, and I'm going to put it in the fridge for a little while just to cool it back down again, so that when we put it in the ice cream maker, we have the best results. So I'll catch up with you in about an hour or so after this has had a chance to cool down, and we'll go from there. Okay, a couple hours have passed by since the last scene. The ice cream mix has been in the refrigerator for a while, and it's nice and cold now. I've brought in the freezer bowl from the freezer, and we're ready to start making some ice cream. So I'm going to pour the ice cream mix into the bowl, and we're going to start preparing it and turning it into ice cream. Okay, the ice cream is into the freezer bowl. I've got the agitator in there. We're going to put the lid on, and we're going to turn it on, and we're going to run it for about 20-25 minutes. This is when the magic starts to happen. Now, while the ice cream is solidifying, I'm going to actually chop up my almonds into little pieces. I went out and bought some unsalted fresh almonds, and basically I don't want to put full-size almonds in there. We're going to put them in little chunks, and so I'm going to use my food processor to do that. I've got the slicer tool in there, and that should chop it up into little bits and pieces, which I think will probably be better. I'm kind of eyeballing how many of these we're going to use. I think I'm going to probably go with about a cup of them, and like I said, we're going to grind them up into little slices, and when the time comes, we'll put that into the ice cream after the ice cream is solidified, along with the marshmallows. And there are my sliced almonds. Those are ready to go now. So we're going to let the ice cream continue to do its thing for another 20 minutes or so. And then we're going to put our almonds and our marshmallows in there. And we're only going to allow it to run for a minute or two once I put the final ingredients in there, because then we should be pretty close to being done. Catch up with you in about 20 minutes. Alright, about 20-25 minutes have gone by. This is set up real nicely. One of the things I've noticed about the ice cream is it tends to expand a little bit as it freezes. That doesn't really surprise me. Liquids tend to do that somewhat. But at this point now, we're going to add in our walnuts and our marshmallows and let it just run for a minute or two just to kind of get everything mixed up. So there was a little bit of a wrinkle here when I tried to put the almonds and the marshmallows in. The ice cream maker didn't have enough oomph to be able to mix it together with all the extra material in there. So I've actually transported it back into the mixer here, and we're mixing it this way. And I don't think it needs to go very long. It looks like it should be pretty good right now. I gotta admit, I've cheated a little bit, taken a taste test, and this is really, really good. So now that the mixing is pretty much completed, I'm going to transport it into a glass jar that I have that I keep ice cream in, and we're going to let it set up overnight in the freezer, and we'll give it a taste test sometime tomorrow. So I'll catch up with you then. Alright, into the freezer we go, and we'll check you out tomorrow. See you then. Alright, it's a couple days later, actually 3 or 4 days later, and I'm finally getting around to doing the taste test on this. A lot's happened in the last few days. You know, in the last video I got my promotion, and obviously when that happened I wanted to push that to the front of the list so I could get you guys in the loop on that as quick as possible. And then I started editing the video for the storage locker video that I did recently, and realized that I mentioned at the time that I have a promotion that was coming, that was imminent, could happen any minute, and I figured, okay, well I really ought to have that one before I announced that I got the promotion, because it'd be weird to do a video that I got the promotion and then the next video says I got one coming. It's like, you're gonna think, what, is he up for another promotion already? So whatever, I ended up putting this off a few days because it just wasn't time to do it, but now it's time to do the taste test. Now I gotta admit, I know that this is gonna be wicked good, because when I pulled it out of the ice cream maker, when it was still had the consistency of like soft serve ice cream, yeah, I took a little taste in, and this was really, really good. I mean, I gotta admit, I'm gonna have to start making my own ice cream, because I think some of the stuff I make is way better than the stuff you get in the store. I'm a huge fan of the Bluebell ice cream, but I think this stuff is even better, just because I make it myself. But yeah, let's give it the all-important taste test. This is the first time I've tried it with the almonds and the marshmallows, so this is gonna be the full experience. Yeah, such a rich chocolatey flavor. Like I said, you don't get that in ice cream. Didn't get any marshmallows on that, but I definitely got the almonds. Let's see if we can get some more this time. It's been in the freezer for a few days now, so it's really solid. So they kind of recommend you let it cool off or warm up a little bit and soften a little bit before you eat it, but it's still just as good, and frankly it melts when it goes in the mouth anyway. So yeah, really, really good. Like I said, I think the ice cream that I've been producing here is way better than the stuff I get in the stores. So this is something that I'll definitely have to go back to again. A very good recipe. Like I said, it's just chocolate ice cream with almonds and marshmallows in it, and that's what turns it into Rocky Road. But yeah, really good. Definitely recommend you go get one of these ice cream makers and follow the recipe. I'll include it in the description below, and you can check it out if you like. But until then, I think that's all that I have for now. So thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you next time on Escaping the Mouse. Bon appetit!